Today's episode is all about goalkeepers because over the last 24 hours, West Ham United have been linked to Nick Pope, Aaron Ramsdale and James Trafford as potential targets ahead of the summer transfer window. And I'm going to be chucking in 3 other names I would prefer to see at West Ham over those 3. At the end of the video, I'll be putting them in order of preference of 1 to 6. And I want to see you guys get involved as well. And if there's any names I haven't mentioned that you think we should be looking at, get involved in the comments below. 6 names, 6 opinions, and we're going to get a little bit geeky as well. But you know the score. If you're new to the channel, please do subscribe and also drop a like on the video as well by clicking the thumbs up. If every single person click that thumbs up, this video will perform better. And that's what West Ham are looking for, a better goalkeeper. Because apparently Łukasz Fabiański will be leaving at the end of the season as his contract expires. And it looks like West Ham could be prepared to spend a little bit of moolah on a new number 1. If you believe the rumours. Now, I'm not saying I believe the rumours. We'll discuss them one by one. But let's talk about it hypothetically. Let's start with James Trafford then, a 22-year-old Burnley goalkeeper. I think he's brilliant. I really do. I think he deserves his place in the England squad. I think it feels destined that he will become England's number 1 at some point in the future. And I think it's some way off. I think Pickford is the number 1. But Trafford is the future, I think, for the England goalkeeping position. Last season in the Premier League, I thought he really struggled. And you can put that down to inexperience. He was 21 years old. And he wasn't the only young Burnley player that I looked at and I thought, you're struggling to cope with the Premier League here. However, when I watched him last season, I thought he needs another season in Championship. Burnley getting relegated, I looked at that squad. I thought there's a few players that will really benefit from a year in Championship and hopefully they get promoted and they'll be far better suited to the Premier League then. And I think James Trafford is at the top of that list. Burnley's defensive record this season has been incredible. The 3rd in Championship. I'd be surprised if those 3 teams didn't come up. The playoffs, of course, that's what Burnley are hoping to avoid. But with that defensive record, I think they'd get through it. But Sheffield United, Burnley and Leeds look like they'll be the 3 that come up. Just saying that, you wouldn't put anything against Lampard's Coventry at the minute, would you? Anyway, going off at a tangent, let's get back on it. Trafford, I don't believe this transfer rumour. I think he'll go to Newcastle. I feel confident that he will go to Newcastle. Even if Burnley get promoted, I still think he will be a priority for Eddie Howe's side. We shall wait and see. If he was available, maybe. We'll discuss that at the end of the video. But let's take a look at the numbers. I've got the statistics for all 6 goalkeepers we're going to be discussing. So let's pull them up on the screen. I should say, let me take that off the screen. I should say that when we're discussing Premier League goalkeepers, they are compared to other goalkeepers in the top 5 leagues of European football. When we're looking at goalkeepers from the Championships, such as James Trafford, and there may be another one, they get compared to what is called the other 14. So that's the Argentinian League, the Brazilian League, the Belgian League, the 2nd division in France and Germany, the Championship, the Europa Conference League. So you've got the top 5, then you've got like the next 14 competitions. So Trafford is not being compared to David Raya, for example. So this is how he comes out statistically. Now, what we're going to have a look at is the 4th one down, which is PSG/SOT. And this is the quality of shots. And he's actually ranking really low when it comes to his shot stopping. Now, the very top one is goals he's expected to concede through the quality of the shot against goals he's actually conceded. And he's coming out quite high, but you can put that down to a good defence. As you can see there, in terms of goals against and save percentage, they're both really, really high. But at the bottom there, you've got crosses stopped. He's 5% of crosses that come into Burnley's box, he is gathering them up. There you go, that's James Trafford. Don't believe the rumour, but a fantastic goalkeeper. Moving on then, we've got the goalkeeper I think he will be replacing, which is Nick Pope. 32 years old. I've got my notes here. 32-year-old. Now, I'm a no. I am a no. A few seasons ago, outstanding, one of the best goalkeepers in Premier League for shot stopping, for claiming high crosses. If you're a patron, you watch my opposition prediction for the Newcastle game, you know my thoughts on Pope. In the air, excellent. Shot stopping, really good. ball at feet, rubbish. And we've seen the weakness with Areola over the last few weeks. And I think it's a fair thing to say that he looks a little bit uneasy with the ball at his feet. So we're looking to improve that aspect of our goalkeeper. Nick Pope is not bad. 32 is a decent age for a goalkeeper, right? For a striker, you get a little bit worried if they've lost the pace. Not a concern from a goalkeeper. I don't require to see him running down the wing. So I've got no doubt he's still a good keeper. But if we're going to be spending money on a keeper, I'd like to go better than Nick Pope. Put it this way, Newcastle are looking for a new goalkeeper. Why? Because they want to upgrade Nick Pope. And whilst they will likely be playing Champions League football next season, we are not. We should be targeting the same quality of player as Newcastle United, in my opinion. If our ambition is to challenge for European football, whether it be next season or the season after, you don't go get a goalkeeper now and then next year go, we're going to have to upgrade the goalkeeper. You upgrade the goalkeeper now and make it so substantial that he's good enough that if you do qualify for European football, he's fine. He is at that level already. So Nick Pope is a big no for me. Right then, talking about keeping the ball out the back of the net from keeping your device safe. This video is in collaboration with Surfshark. Now, I'm not an expert when it comes to how VPNs work, just like I'm not an expert when it comes to goalkeeping. But it doesn't stop me talking about goalkeepers, and it doesn't stop me having a VPN on my phone to just keep that little bit of protection. Just like a goalkeeper needs a good defence, your phone needs a good defence as well, and that is where Surfshark comes in. So while Nick Pope might be up for grabs, this summer we've got an offer for you to keep your device safe. Now, what I can discuss though is changing the geolocation on your device. So if you were to go abroad, you go to France, let's say, and you thought, no, I want to watch my usual content back in the UK. It's simple. A few clicks of a button and you have changed your device's location to UK. So you're in France, but your device thinks it's back in the UK, so you can access content as if you were in the UK. Plus, you only need one account. Unlimited devices on one account. So you join up using our link at surfshark.com/hammerchat because you will get 4 months free. So that's why you use our link. So you get the 4 months for free. Unlimited devices. Sign up once and get everything protected with that one login. And if you don't like it, if you change your mind, unlike with Nick Pope, we can't give him back after 28 days, but you get 30 days money back guarantee with Surfshark. Links in the description below and the pinned comments. Right, from keeping your device safe to hopefully keeping clean sheets at West Ham. Next up, we've got, I'm going curveball now, a goalkeeper I would like. And that is Mad Hermansen. Let's get him up on the screen immediately. 24-year-old goalkeeper at Leicester City. As you can see there, his shot stopping is fantastic. The 97th percentile. Now, this judges shot quality. That's what this statistic is. It's how good the opportunity is for the attacker, essentially. So it's trying to gauge the quality of the opportunity gifted to the attacker. So the higher that number, the better. 0.36, which puts him in the 97th percentile. Fantastic. He's also stopping 5.4% of crosses into his area. Now, obviously, the top one, the percentile for goals conceded, it's not great. It's ever so slightly positive, 0.02. But he plays for Leicester City. I've been impressed by him. I think if I was to put money on it, it'd go to Chelsea. I think Chelsea would be looking for a new goalkeeper because Sanchez is awful. By the way, that's one goalkeeper I don't even want to see us linked to. I know he was a goalkeeper at Brighton under Potter. I'm still worried about it. The more I watch of Chelsea, the more I think I never want to see him in a West Ham shirt, in West Ham gloves. I never want to see him in goal at West Ham United. Hermansen, with Leicester going down, he's likely to be on the move. And that's when it comes to transfer rumours, I think, do we require him? Does it make sense? And is he available? And is he affordable? It needs to tick all the boxes before I believe a transfer rumour. Well, I think he ticks one or two, which is he's available. And I think we'd be able to afford him as well. Is he an upgrade? I think so. So it's just the thing that prevents me believing all these rumours is I'm not convinced we will spend money on a goalkeeper this summer. I hope I'm wrong. I want us to. I just get a feeling there's other priorities in the squad for Graham Potter and that the budget will be utilised elsewhere because I also don't see Areola accepting a substitute role at West Ham. We'll wait and see. But Hermansen, I like him, and I think he'll be on the move as well. Moving on then, let's go to Aaron Ramsdale, someone else we've been linked to. I'm just not a fan. I'm really, really not a fan of him. Let's get his numbers up. You can see there, he's conceding more goals than he's expected to. His shot stopping 82nd percentile. It's quite good. It is quite good in fairness. His crosses stopped 6%. That's also good. So statistically, his numbers are all right. I've just never really been convinced of him as a goalkeeper. I think his ball playing's okay. I think it's very risky. And, this guy went on a podcast and said that he cannot concentrate for 90 minutes. That is alarming. You don't want a goalkeeper that tells the world, I can't... Just like when Michail Antonio went on a podcast before his car crash and said, I can only last an hour. We know that. We can see it. But that's worrying, right? That's your striker saying, I can only give you 1 hour and then I'm done. Well, you've got a goalkeeper saying, I cannot concentrate for 90 minutes. You cannot have that in your goal. You just can't. He's in a crap Southampton team. He is very busy. But I've never been sold on him. I know a lot of West Ham fans do. There'll be loads of people saying I'm wrong and we should sign him. He's just not for me. I think he'll be available because Southampton will get relegated. I think he'll be affordable. If anything, that worries me. He's a poor Premier League goalkeeper as far as I'm concerned. Is he good enough for this league? Yes. But when I go back to what I discussed around Nick Pope, which is you want to get someone in that's good enough for European football, I don't think he's at that level. Put it this way, he left Arsenal, Southampton went and got him. There's a reason for that. Ramsdale to West Ham, no thank you. Right, 2 goalkeepers that I would like. I've discussed this one in the past, so let's get it over and done with pretty quickly. And that is Kelleher of Liverpool. As you can see there, statistically, really good. 100% penalties. Mental that. Saved 100% of penalties, the 97th percentile. So how is he not in the 99th? I guess there's maybe keepers that have saved more than him. But you can see that his goals conceded is really good. His shot stopping is really good. His crosses aren't very good. That's his weakness from a goalkeeper perspective, 4.9%, which is, what I should say is, if you have a look at Nick Pope's, by the way, 10.5%, the 96th percentile. This is Nick Pope's here. Outstanding when it comes to saving crosses. Did I put this up for Nick Pope? I'm questioning myself now. But anyway, shot stopping is not great, is it, for someone of that ability? I was surprised when I came on to this. I was surprised that Nick Pope's shot stopping wasn't that impressive statistically. Of course, it doesn't tell the whole story. It's an indicator. But Kelleher, good shot stopping, not so great. But when I watch Liverpool, I do feel like he's a top goalkeeper, and the only reason he's not playing at Liverpool more often is I think Alisson is the only world-class goalkeeper in the Premier League. You got reminded of that against PSG. And they've signed a keeper from Valencia who I can't recall his name and how to pronounce it. I didn't even know that, by the way. My subscribers taught me that when I did a video about Kelleher a couple of weeks ago. Completely missed it. I don't know how. I felt a bit embarrassed, to be honest with you. I take it as like a responsibility to keep up to date with all these things, and I should do. It's my job. But when people said, they've signed the Valencia keeper, he's joined them in the summer, I was like, oh, oops. Anyway, even more reason. So Kelleher, available, affordable. Yeah, if you want a number one, you're going to be prepared to spend 20, 30 million, right? So he's going to be in that bracket somewhere. Could we get him? I think so. The only thing that would prevent us getting him is if like a Chelsea came in for him, then we might have a problem. But he ain't. I don't think he's going to go to like Man City or Arsenal. So there's an opportunity for a club outside those top bracket of Premier League clubs to go get a goalkeeper. Maybe Newcastle. Maybe Newcastle will go get him. There you go. That's a good shout if you're a Newcastle fan. Kelleher. Right then, the last goalkeeper. I've kept him till the end for a reason, and that's because I've not discussed him before. And I think he's fantastic. I think he should have been in the England squad ahead of Aaron Ramsdale, and that is Cooper of Sheffield United. Signed him from Plymouth for a couple of million. I think him and Trafford are the best goalkeepers in the Championship easily. I think third place would be Johansson of Stoke City, but I think these two are just a level above. Whenever I've watched Sheffield United this season, which admittedly isn't loads, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 times, maybe less than 10, more than 5, he's been really good. And when I've seen the highlights of the games that I've not watched, he makes some outstanding saves. He did one at the weekend where he's coming across his goal and it looked like it was a header at the back post. And there you go, for the scooped it out on the line with his hand. Outstanding. His footwork is incredible. Anyway, let's get Cooper's stats up, then I'll keep talking about him. So save wise, it's all right. I mean, the fourth one, that PSXG, is not very good, the 18th percentile in these leagues. His crosses, though, 9 per game, 91st percentile. He's fantastic at coming and claiming high crosses. Just 25 years of age, English as well. If Sheffield United do not come up, and it's possible, while I think them, Burnley and Leeds deserve to come up arguably, I think he'll be on the move. I think he's too good. I think he's too good for the Championship. I think he deserves a move to a Premier League club if Sheffield United don't come up. And I would not be against us looking in that direction. Now, obviously, there's a bit of an issue because of the Tevez thing, and whether Sheffield United would be keen to do business with us, I'm not so sure. But this is talking about goalkeepers we'd like at West Ham. He'd be on my list. So let's put them in order very quickly and wrap this video up. So we've got 6 goalkeepers discussed. Number 1, I'd put as Kelleher. I think he is a fantastic goalkeeper. Good age, 26 years old. I think that sorts out your number 1. All being well, that sorts out your goalkeeping position for quite some time. Number 2, I'd put Trafford. Now, I don't think we'll get him. I don't think he comes to West Ham. I think he either stays at Burnley or he goes to a club like Newcastle. I don't think he comes, but he'd be second on my list. Then I'd put Hermansen in there because we know he can do it in the Premier League. I think when Cooper had him outside of relegation zone and he got sacked, and there was a lot of stuff made about sacking Cooper even though they were outside the bottom 3, I think a large part of it was down to the keeper. I think he had a bigger part to play than Steve Cooper, arguably. He's looked really good when I've seen him, very comfortable with the ball at his feet. He's third on my list. And then I'd put Cooper in there because I just don't rate. I used to really rate Pope. I just don't think he's the keeper we need. And I'm just not a big fan of Aaron Ramsdale. I never really have been. When I watch him, he's capable of making a fantastic save, or a camera save as you would call it. But he's also capable of making your defence nervous, and he's incapable of concentrating for 9 minutes. Do you know there's some players people rate but you just don't get? Ramsdale's that for me. And I appreciate loads of people. I know I'm in the minority and I'm okay being in the minority. It's, people won't change my mind. I just don't get it. I just don't get him. He's not for me. So anyway, there you go. That's my goalkeepers. Feel free to use those 6, but also add in any other goalkeepers that we haven't been linked to or have not mentioned in this video. Would I upgrade the West Ham number 1 goalkeeping position this summer? Yes, I would be prepared to spend big money on a new number 1 because of Fabianski's contract situation. And I'm just unconvinced by Alphonse Areola. I think we need to upgrade that one. And a substantial one too. Like I said, someone that could be here for years, but someone who's capable of playing for a side competing in European football. Because that has to be our ambition. It doesn't mean we'll get it. It doesn't mean that we have to do it next season, but it needs to be our ambition. And I think sometimes it starts with how you attack a transfer window. And I think getting in a goalkeeper, a substantial number 1, that would be reassuring that this club has ambitions. There is a concern though, and that is Potter's goalkeeping guy. I can't recall his name. He's still at Chelsea. We didn't go get him. And he used to have a big say in which keepers Brighton signed. So whether or not that will play into us going after a keeper or not going after a keeper, we shall wait and see. But anyway, that's who we're linked to. Nick Pope, Aaron Ramsdale and James Trafford. Let me know in the comments below. Drop a like on the video if you enjoyed it by clicking thumbs up. Subscribe to Hammers Chat. Catch you tomorrow.